Hey there. Are you looking for a 2000s mutant gay dating site? Well, then you need to try X-Manhunt.
I'm going to set my optic blast to pulse and shoot it right up your ass.
X-Manhunt. Oh, you know I'm invulnerable when I'm blasting.
X-Manhunt. I'm going to touch your dick and go boom, Cher.
X-Manhunt. Uh-oh, I didn't clean out. I guess I just bamfed. X-Manhunt.
Are you feeling lucky? I've got 3 fingers to please you.
Oh,
X and a thumb. X-Manhunt.
Hey, bub. Wait till you feel this snit.
X-Manhunt. So now we know that you can play 2 songs at once.
I love that.
I love that. That was great. Oh, hey everybody! Welcome to episode 336 of Comic Book Queers. We are here. We are celebrating X-Manhunt and Daredevil Born Again on this episode. And who are we? Who's this we I talk about? Well, it's none other than me and EvilJeff.
Yeah, I'm EvilJeff, and this over here is Brett.
That's right.
There are some comics. We're going to talk about X-Manhunt. There's other X-Men comics, and we aren't going to talk about them because we don't feel like it.
We just want to stay focused. Good YouTubing is about focus and simplicity.
Yeah. Also, they were not that great.
And they were not
that
great.
So you're not missing anything.
So you're not missing anything.
Yeah, but you know what you might have missed? Wait, go ahead. What?
What? No, you. This is good.
The Oscars.
The Oscars. I was watching the Oscars, and I was having so many emotions. I was like, and then she wins, and I was like.
And he was like, and then she was like, and then they were all like, and I was all like, what?
So the Oscars happened. Yay. Did you do a poll? Did you do a ballot?
No, I never do. No, I don't ever do that. I only watch it usually with like 4 people, so it's like not enough people to make it interesting.
My friend's family does a big Oscar pool, and one year I got the invitation. I was flattered, flabbergasted, and I have not looked back since. I do that every year. And I won.
You won? Did you win last year?
No, I did not. I did horribly last year. I won this year. It was a 4-way tie. But I was one of those 4 people.
I predicted the Honora sweep. So everyone was saying Demi, and I was like, I want Demi to win, but Mikey Madison is 100% going to win. And they're like, no. And then when she won, everyone was freaking out.
The thing that... so I watched it on Hulu, by the way. Did you hear that Hulu cut out right before they announced Best Actress?
But here's the thing. I watched it on Hulu. But I will, and I was behind on it too, but I purposely set up and recorded everything after. So I purposely went in and said, record the next show.
That's great. Hulu's live feed just cut out in the middle of Best Actress. And they were like, sorry, we can't play this anymore. I missed
were you watching it via Hulu or via ABC?
Yeah. No, via Hulu.
Oh, okay, that's why. I was watching it on Hulu on ABC.
Right.
Because I have
Hulu
cable.
live stream, and they cut out.
Oh, and then I was a bunch of it. Shit. They literally were like, because it happened right when it hit like
right when they
11 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 10 p.m. I forget what it... Because for us, that's the nice thing about being on the West Coast. Everything ended at 8 p.m. It was great.
Yeah, I know. Not here. So they cut out right before they announced it, and so I scrambled, tried to get it back, realized I needed to switch to regular TV. I did, and I saw Mikey Madison walking away, and I was like, What happened?
The insanity.
So I'm so sad for Demi. I'm so sad.
Yeah, I will say this. I felt the Oscars, it started off so strong with the Wizard of Oz, like tribute songs with Ariana and Cynthia Erivo. It was beautiful. Beautifully sung, wonderful. Conan O'Brien started off strong, but then it went on a little too long. Yeah. I was like, okay, let's wrap it up. And then what preceded was the most meandering, long, awkward badness ever. Everything from that point on was bad. The Adam Sandler, terrible.
Yeah. What was the "I'm not going to waste your time" number? I was like, this is not only bad, but it's insulting.
Wait, for which one?
Conan O'Brien did a number about like, "I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to waste your time."
Oh yeah, that part. Yeah, that's when I was like, all right, wrap it up.
Fuck off.
It's also even the banter between the presenters, Goldie Hawn and Andrew Garfield.
What was that?
Painful. The speeches, terrible.
Painful. The singing.
Adrian Brody, go fuck yourself. I never want to see you ever again. Throws his gum at his wife and then tells everyone to shut up and talks for 5 minutes about nothing. Terrible. It was just it was really bad. They need to figure it out.
The gentleman who we're showing who won for best costume design for Wicked.
That was the only good one where even the setup for that was good with Bo and Yang. That was fun.
Yes, that was fun. And so he's the first black man to win that Oscar for best costume design, which is great. His last name is Tazewell, and I'm blanking on his first name.
Wonderful. Anyway. Also, can we talk about how when you watch Best Actor nominations, you want to see a clip from the movie. So this Best Supporting, where they just waxed poetic on each performance and didn't show clips from them, terrible. They were going to do that for all 4 nominations, but no one was willing to say nice things about what's her nuts from Amelia Perez.
Oh right. Oh God, that's right. So she killed that whole thing. That whole game.
Anyway,
it's great.
It's also I have no qualms necessarily with like who won and all that stuff. I mean, except for Demi Moore, but it was just a very boring show. And also the speech where the person I think who won, was it live action short, where he grabbed the phone away from the girl and started rereading it. This is now, I'm like, I've said for a million times, Best Short Documentary and Best Short Animation should be on the other night.
Get rid of it.
Should be on the technical night.
100%.
Why are we wasting time with that bullshit?
Why did he say you're doing it wrong, and then he pulled the phone out of her hand and did
said the exact same
thing she did?
Mansplain. I hope his career's over because of that.
Splain. Anyway,
I'm
glad you said man, because some men were bitten by a spider and they call themselves Spider-Men.
Ooh.
And so I'm here to tell you, EvilJeff, that Spider-Man 4 has a July 2026 release date. I believe it's like July 31st. It's like the last weekend.
Is it going to have a home in the title?
I don't think so. I think we're done with that.
So it's going to be something new. Also, is Zendaya out?
I hear she's back.
So she will be back.
Here's why this is significant, though. July 2026 is 2 months after Avengers Doomsday. Isn't that interesting? So I wonder if they really are going to make Peter Parker very central. Have him be like the forgotten hero.
Yeah, because did they just not know? Did they know Spider-Man, or they just don't? I thought they just didn't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
They know Spider-Man, which Daredevil proved.
Yeah, but they just don't know Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
They just don't know Peter Parker. Right.
Okay, I mean, love it. Also, the fact that they're married. They just showed Tom being invited to like one of Zendaya's family members' birthday parties.
Saw that,
and I was just like, I love them.
I love them.
I can't wait for them to have babies. Although, here's the issue. Did you hear what he said? He said that basically as soon as Zendaya gets pregnant, he's out. And he's going to let her have a career, and he's just going to raise the kids. So there'll be no more Spider-Man after that. So
I'm sure he wants
close those legs, Zendaya. Take the pill.
Take the pill. Spider-Man 8 depends on it.
All right, what else we
that's
got?
all the hot topics. That's all we got.
Okay.
That's all we got.
Are we talking about things we watched next?
We're going to talk about things we watched and talk about hot. There's a devil in the kitchen.
Oh, dare you say who it is?
Oh.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
What you watching? We're watching Daredevil Born Again on the Disney Plus.
The things I do for the show.
Oh, let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
I liked it.
Hate it.
Oh, okay.
It's boring.
Well,
it's
so was the Netflix show, girl. It's a legal drama.
Yeah, and that's why I couldn't get through the Netflix show. And you were like, no, it's amazing. And then I just never could get through it. So I watched this. And I was hoping that I was like, oh, is it going to be like a case of the week type of thing? No. Because I was thinking after when White Tiger came on, it's just going to be one long case. I'm like, it's just
I don't think it will. I think they'll divide this into thirds. This is an 18 episode run. So I think we're doing 6, 6, and 6.
666 is right. I'm sorry. I'm going to go hang myself real quick.
Yeah.
I will say at the very end, I was like, oh, well, I guess I need to. I was saying, like, I think I'm not going to watch this. But at the very end, I was like, oh, I need to know what happens now at the way it kind of left off.
Let's walk through it.
But let's walk through it.
So it's just a show. It started off, it's just a show about 3 friends who are young, single, they're professionals, they're living in New York in Hell's Kitchen. Who doesn't want to live in Hell's Kitchen?
No, that is not how it started off. See, you're going to say it in your way. I'm going to say it in my way. It started off with the tried and true, age-old, overdone trope of characters in a action movie acting super, super, super happy, and everything's amazing. So me and my husband looked at each other and we're like, are both of them going to die?
Which one's going to die? Right.
Which one? Someone's going to die, and so you're just waiting for
Foggy.
it. Yeah, I mean, I never really liked his character. I was like,
good.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that because if it was like, if you're going to kill off. What's her nuts? Karen Page. I was like, if you fucking kill her off, I will have a bone to pick because
you can't do that. She's too important and too good of a character.
I don't know if she's still married to the same guy, but I told you I used to see her at IO
EJ
West. Scott. Is she still married to the same person?
I don't know. I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just love her.
Yeah, they were around Chicago stuff too.
But she's so upset from him dying, she moves to San Francisco.
She's so upset, and we are so upset. Not really. He always annoyed the hell out of me in the Netflix show. But I actually think this is a good way. I'm not saying this is good. I'm just saying this is a good way of kind of pivoting away. Yeah, exactly, from the Netflix show. Like, new love interest, he doesn't even live in Hell's Kitchen anymore.
Well, yeah, because Hell's Kitchen is gay.
And they said it. She was like, so you don't think, in the context of a lawyer, his new love interest was like, so you don't think Hell's Kitchen needs a protector? And he's like, have you seen it lately? I was like, no, it needs a free clinic, if anything. If you want to help out Hell's Kitchen.
Do you think that was homophobic? Maybe he's homophobic. It's like, have you seen it lately? I'm not saving those fags.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just fags sucking dick and smoking weed.
They did try to go, with this Foggy's death, they did try to go hard with a long one-take action scene.
Yeah.
Going through a bar and up the stairs and on the roof.
It's because it's Bullseye who killed Foggy, and so Daredevil goes after
Was
Bullseye.
he in the older episodes?
That's the same Bullseye. Yeah.
So it's the same Bullseye.
Yep.
Who do you think hired him?
Great question. To me right now, I would say it was Wilson Fisk.
But I felt like I believed him when he said he didn't do it. I think there's another player
Vanessa Fisk.
Oh, maybe it was the wife. Oh, okay, I bet she was the wife. Okay, I will say though that fight scene, the CGI wasn't fully CGIing for me. It felt like I think they were going for something really grand, which I admire, but it still looked a little cheap to me. Some of the CGI on it looked like
Yeah, and I didn't even honestly. It didn't even what was CGI like. I didn't even know what's. To me, it was
the
more
knives
like
going in, the way the knives were going in, some of the practical effects. Then when it turned, even in the end, when it like turned into his helmet going off the ledge, and then the titles, a lot of things just looked like there were certain times where I could tell, oh, that's a CGI body jumping. That's not a real person. Yeah. It was very obvious to me. But I did like that they tried to do a one-take fight scene. I love those.
Versus with Daredevil and Bullseye.
And they did set up where he kind of goes against, I'm assuming goes against his code. And when because I like that he kept listening to the heartbeat of Foggy. And as soon as the heartbeat stopped, while he was fighting, he tries to kill Bullseye.
It was very comedic the way he tried to kill Bullseye, when he just kind of just shoved him to the side off the building. It was pretty funny. And I really did like Karen hearing somebody lands behind her and
and she didn't want to look behind
to turn around because she thought it was Matt. Yeah,
and that was I will say, so I was like, okay, I'm interested. Then boring exposition for like 40 minutes. He has not gotten into his Daredevil costume.
Yeah,
again. And it was just so...
It's like establishing his new world. He now is...
Boring.
Yeah, he's a partner with Nikki M. James, and she introduced him to her friend, Natalie.
I mean, he's hot as fuck. Yeah, he's a psychiatrist.
Natalie's a therapist. Turns out she's also the Fisk's therapist, so that's an interesting connection. You've got Kingpin, who, so much of the show is about our violent nature. We have to suppress our violent nature. That's like, I don't connect with that. I don't understand having a violent nature.
I'll tell you, I do. There's one time where I have a violent nature. There's two times.
Watching.
One is in a Trader Joe's parking lot.
Okay.
2 is in a long line at Chipotle.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that? One time I was in a Chipotle.
Oh, God.
And it was the longest line. And it was like 20 minutes. And then I finally get up to the front and there's one person behind me. And this middle-aged woman goes, "How does all this work?"
No.
And then one by one asked what each thing was and every single thing. And I turned behind me and there was a woman and we looked at each other like, let's slit her throat. And no one will say anything. That's the only time I had to fight my violent nature. No, I agree with you. I also think the whole Fisk being mayor, I wasn't really into that in the comic.
In the comics. That's very
so
much
I'm not super... I just feel like they're like, look, we're doing this thing in the comic. And I'm like, I don't care.
I mean, this is another Trump analogy, too, though. Like the crime boss ascends to power and everyone loves him.
I do like that it's trying to do Trump analogies, but let's push it even further.
Yeah.
Or Trump analogies, the actual mayor of New York.
Thank you.
Was the White Tiger, is he in the first Daredevil shows?
No.
Oh, okay, so he's new. I like him.
He's new, and unfortunately that actor, did you see, he passed away of cancer.
What?
Not too long ago. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So they dedicated episode 2 to him.
Oh, that's who the dedication was? But he's like
the actor who plays White Tiger.
No.
Isn't that horrible?
That's so sad.
He was great. He was likable. And so this is a guy who saw a mugging happening, a shakedown happening, a beatdown happening on the subway platform in Washington Heights. And he jumped in, and it turned out they were undercover cops who were roughing a guy up, and one of the undercover cops dies accidentally in the melee.
You're not too far from Washington Heights, right?
Not at all. It's the
Washington Heights?
Next neighborhood up. Yeah.
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 That was the thing. It was fucked up where it's like these guys are shaking this guy down, about to beat the shit out of him. He tries to stop them. They try to beat him up. And when they realize he fights back, they try to kill him. Yeah. The one guy trips and falls into the subway, and then they're like, "Oh, we're cops." You're like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I do like that it's dealing with corrupt police. I like that.
Yes.
And then who is the news reporter girl? She's the daughter of somebody.
Yeah,
Is that from
she's
season
Ben
1?
Urich's niece. And so that scene where she meets with Kingpin, it's got, if you're familiar with this old show, it has resonance because Kingpin is who killed her uncle.
And so he knows that, but does she know that?
She does not know that, but Kingpin knows that he's the one who murdered Ben Urich.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sure...
Did he hire his goons, or did he actually do it himself?
No, he did it. He showed up to his apartment and killed him.
Okay.
Yeah. For snooping around. And so he said something about... I had to laugh. He's like, oh, I'm sure she's lived a life being underestimated. And I'm like, okay. Is he going to say that? Do we need... Like, okay, we need to know that you're not to underestimate her. Got it. Thank you for that ham-fisted framing of a character.
Yeah, and basically, Matt Murdock ends up representing
White
White Tiger.
We find out he's White Tiger midway through the case, essentially, or midway through like the pre-case nonsense.
And they basically need to find the guy that he was defending. And
who ran off.
He's realizing, if I'm able to find it, so are they. So when he goes to find this guy, he realizes the cops are going to try and kill him. And so he basically saves this guy, but he's left in the apartment.
Yeah.
And these two, one of the cops was one of the ones actually there, right?
One of the ones who was on the platform, yeah.
And the thing that I found interesting is they were just like, we're just going to kill you. And while they were fighting him, you see that he has a Punisher tattoo. What is that about?
That. Who does?
The cop, when he did this, on his wrist was the Skull Punisher tattoo.
Yo,
you didn't remember that?
No, I don't remember that at all. Because
but who is the Punisher a bad guy in this?
No. Dude, if they do this, I will be very impressed. Cops have taken the logo of the Punisher as their own. And us comic book fans are like, he kills you pigs, right? Like,
so maybe they're doing that. Maybe Mr. Frank Castle's going to come back and do some cop killing.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I will say at the end, he ends up having to use his Daredevil powers, and do you think he kills them, or did he just beat the shit out of them?
I mean, they look pretty fucking dead to me.
It looked like he snapped the one guy's neck, and so now he's like, fuck, and it just ends with him screaming, and I'm like, okay, I need to watch that, because I was about to be like, I'm not going to watch this anymore.
No, he's going to go crazy. Okay. Like, Matt's going to go crazy. In fact, what I hear is that eventually this will become the Devil's Reign storyline, which was one of the more recent Daredevil storylines, 10 years ago, something like that. But he does become corrupt by the hand. He does become evil. And so I wonder if they are going to do that Matt's truly going to become dark and crazy. Which, I'm all for it. Take your shirt off.
Oh, he's so handsome.
He's so fucking sexy. Like, when he... when he was talking to White Tiger, like on the jail phone, and there's just close-ups of him just like looking at.
But there's also there's something when you first. He's one of those you first look at him. He's not like a Jake Gyllenhaal where you're like, oh,
damn.
Like you just look for a second and you're like, oh, he's handsome. But then when you take another look, you're like, oh.
Oh wait, yeah.
And I think it's because he just has a sexiness about him.
He has a sexiness.
That I would let him do anything to me.
Yeah. You know what he's got. He's got the swagger of a man with a huge swinging dick, is what he's got. Okay.
Yeah, do we have any videos of him jogging in gray sweatpants at all?
I don't know, but get his publicist on that.
Speaking of dirty videos, and speaking of hot guys, have you heard about Luigi Mangione, that there are 20 sex tapes?
20 sex tapes. And I hear there's like this queer TikToker boy who's in one of them.
So some of them might be gay. And I'm like, don't, either release them or don't release, or just shut up. Don't,
I think somebody should look at them to make sure that they're okay for the public, and I volunteer.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Oh, I really should test it out. Just make sure that it's okay for consumption.
Woo! Talk about a big.
Well, what else? What else have we seen? You gave a little snip on your slides.
Oh, my finger slipped. You saw that, did you? Because EvilJeff. Can we talk about that Severance episode?
Well, this Severance episode is a big doozy. The biggest doozy is my mom texted me and said she's done and she's not watching the show anymore.
Okay. That's the wrong reaction.
Because it was too confusing. She feels that it's opening up more cans of worms, and she's done with it.
This was the most straightforward episode they've ever given
us. I know. I feel that this was explaining a lot. But here's what's great about Severance, and this is why Severance is on and I will say this, I'm acting like Severance is like on a higher level of shows, but Severance is now the #1 show in the entire world. It's the most watched show in the world. So, and I think one of the reasons that people like it is it's not spoon feeding you the plot. It's not spoon feeding it to you. Like, you do have to kind of like pay attention. And I think so many people want something where you can be on your phone while watching something. And this, you cannot look away. Every moment is important.
The way it should be.
This shows you what his wife is up to.
This gives you the whole goddamn... this is one of those episodes... This is episode 7 of season 2. This is one of those episodes that's up there with, like... I'll give you Twin Peaks: The Return, episode 8. Lost, the Desmond episode, The Constant. Like,
this episode was heavily inspired by Twin Peaks: The Return. There are transitions when it closes in on her eyes and then it turns to a different scene. It's so Lynchian.
And actually, this
was eating it up.
Directed by the woman who has been the cinematographer the entire run.
Oh, perfect.
Ben Stiller gave her a crack at directing, and look what happened.
Well, it's great. Also, they had a little treat for the gays because of Miss Sandra Bernhard as a character.
Girl, I was gagged.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I'm here in New York, and I'm Sandra Bernhard appears on my TV. I'm a middle-aged gay man in New York, and I've got Sandra Bernhard on my TV.
I kind of wish she was more like she's playing a character, but I kind of wish she was just Sandra Bernhard, where she's just like, "Hey girl, it looks like you've been severed, bitch." Like, I just.
So this is an episode where we finally find out what the fuck happened to Mark's wife, Gemma.
Now, I will say we still do not know
what happened.
What exactly happened? Because at first I was like. Because she goes in for, it looks like they're going in for fertility because she has a miscarriage.
So we have flashbacks. We have flashbacks of when they meet. We have flashbacks of when they go through all of their pregnancy and fertility issues, which starts with a miscarriage.
Yeah, and so they go to Lumen, and she has to enter this huge checklist and things of like, has to enter all this stuff. Like, she's even having to draw ducks and stuff like that.
Well, that's after, yeah.
But it looked. I think that's still from Lumen. I think
it is. Oh, it is
all from Lumen.
It is.
So, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I like this." So here's the thing that we don't know: did she volunteer to pretend to die and go in, or did they kidnap her and fake her death?
Did she volunteer?
So either she volunteered, or they were like, "Actually, she has all the criteria. We need to kidnap her
or
and
she's
bring
the
her."
match.
So that's the thing we still don't know, but we are now knowing what is happening. And here is what blew my mind. This bitch is multi-severed.
And everyone might be. This might be how it works. They just rearrange
she has
brainwaves.
Depending on what room you go into, it is a new personality.
Yes.
So my question is, what room are they in? Do we know what... where they go in that elevator, is that named? Like with the main characters.
The room in the elevator? Where they work?
No, like when they go down the elevator and go to work, is that also like a room? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get it. I think it's all frequencies because they keep talking about the 5 brainwaves and how they phase those brainwaves into different configurations. So I think it's like a frequency. It's and that's what. So it's not like an on-off switch. It's like the frequency in their room creates those particular innies.
Yeah.
Because she's going into different rooms, and she's going to 6 different rooms. There's 6 different innies, none of them who remember each other happening. So I'd have to think
she's kind of being tortured in all of them.
And she's very much being tortured in all of them. And she wakes up in this loop. So Innie number 1, who has to go to the dentist every time she wakes up. She's in a constant loop of getting dental work done with no anesthesia. That's fucking horrible. But she doesn't remember the one who has to spend eternal Christmas in the other room writing the thank you cards that her base personality hates to write. Tortured.
Yeah, she's being tortured, and they're basically testing how far can we push the innie to see if the outie does not experience any of it.
Right. Like, do you feel the physical pain from the dentist when you are the other person?
It's still feeling it, but I'll tell you this, she's not into it. And
no.
But here's the thing, is the one room that she is not gone to is Cold Harbor.
Is Cold Harbor the name of Mark's project? And what's in Cold Harbor? We took a look.
Wait, we went into Cold Harbor?
We did. And it's
which part was that in it?
It's those 4 weird doppelgangers from the Ortbo at computers.
Oh, the one that were watching everything?
Watching them through their computers.
Oh, they were in the Cold Harbor room?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't see that was Cold Harbor.
It was Cold Harbor.
Okay.
There was water. It was freezing.
Did it say Cold Harbor, or are you just guessing this?
It said Cold Harbor.
Oh, okay. We'd realized that everything that she's happening is happening in the floor below. Because when she came up, she went up an elevator.
Yeah, but she went up,
and it seems that's where Milchek came to get her.
So, and Milchek, he still had his motorcycle gear on. I think he bolted. Oh, I think he got on his bike.
Yeah, he bolted and ran to go get her. And the other thing that's interesting is when she was in that elevator, I think that was also that floor personality. So that is because that was the Miss Casey.
She was Miss Casey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so complicated. But here's the thing: what do you think Cold Harbor is?
Gosh, I think they are rebuilding a person.
So what do you think that means Cold Harbor is? Why is she not gone into the Cold Harbor room?
I don't know.
Do you think it's because it's just those people are there? I've read some things online that Cold Harbor is they're going to actually try to kill one of the outie. And see if they can, and then see if, because they're trying to do pain and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Is maybe they want to try and drown her and see if you can kill the person and then they can come back when they go into the other room as the other personality. I don't know. I was just...
Yeah.
But it's still but this poor girl's being tortured and the poor... he's not going to save her before... there's no way he's going to save her before the end of this season.
Next episode is 37 minutes long. He ain't saving her. However, maybe because they are going there. Dylan has the directions to the room. He has them. What are we waiting for? Let's do it.
And the other thing that's interesting is when Mark was in his kind of coma, reintegrating.
Mark's reintegrated.
Do you think he's fully reintegrated?
I think he woke up and he was like, whoa.
Yeah, I think he knows everything. But here's the deal is I think when the sister was like, I'm going to call Cobell, I think she's going to come into this. And but I don't know whether she really is going to help them or if she's going to try and betray. But I think they're going to come. So I think it's going to be Mark and Cobell going in to maybe try and get her.
I will say we are at the point where I think we need the turn from Cobell that we all know is coming. We need let's get on with it. I don't want Cobell being shady anymore, being like, "Oh, Mark, I don't know what you mean." She hit rock bottom. She was almost tortured or whatever, taken away by the guy that she was afraid of, that she ran away from. She was given that insulting demotion, put out to pasture. She's got to come back with a vengeance and do something pivotal.
Yeah,
I know. Meanwhile, Deitch and Lockman, she gonna get her Emmy.
She was really good. It was very sad.
You know who she is?
Very sad.
She's Daisy Quake Johnson's mother from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
Leader of the Inhumans.
She's an Inhuman?
And she was in Dollhouse. Yeah, she was an Inhuman.
Oh, that's right. That's what I remember her mostly from, is Dollhouse.
Yeah, where she was programmed with different personas over and over. What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
But
also, Robbie
great.
Benson. Robbie Benson is the Doctor. What
That's
movie?
Robbie Benson, the voice of the Beast?
Yes, and the boy from Please Don't Let This Feeling End. Ice Castles.
No, I didn't even recognize him.
It's
That's
Robbie
insane.
Benson.
He's so old.
Well, girl, I mean...
My face. My
there
beautiful
goes.
face is going to turn
It's
into
gone.
Robbie Benson.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Robbie
right,
Benson was very attractive, and now look at him.
Let's, do we want to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about Drag Race. I was struggling to remember who got eliminated, and now I remembered. And it's because I know why I didn't remember, because I didn't care about this person.
Wait, who is it? I'm so far ahead that now I'm like, wait,
oh, it's Corey King, who just left.
That's right, the Betsy Johnson episode.
No impact, girl.
But we got an amazing lip sync.
An amazing lip sync with the drama. The boyfriends. Well done, producers.
And they're boyfriends now. They are still together. The longest lasting Drag Race relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how even in Untucked they were like, it's not going to be you. They're not going to put you and me. I'm like, they're 100%.
100%.
Do you not understand what good TV is?
Do you know what TV is?
When they had Sugar and Spice, you were like, you know they're going to be lip syncing.
They did that shit immediately.
When Alyssa Edwards and Coco Montrese, two enemies, showed up, you knew they were going to lip sync again. Like, girl, we have to give the people what they want.
Yes.
So it was fun, and I really thought the designs were really fun, and Betsy Johnson is great.
I can't believe she can do splits at 82 years old.
I know, right?
I also really thought that Lexi Love should have won, but it just felt less Betsy to me.
Here's why. Here's the thing, though. Lexi Love really is just a copy of Julia Fox's. I forget which designer it was. But it is a copy. Like that whole veil thing, which is so brilliant. Yeah. It is a copy of a Julia Fox look. Okay. And Jules Sparkles really looked like it could be in her collection.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? So I understand. But if it went to Lexi Love, it would have been great too.
Yep.
But I think that's probably why they chose it. Yeah. But yeah, it's fun. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say. I keep on wanting to. I'm like, I can't say anything else.
I want you to spoil me after the show, but hold on.
Okay.
Let's talk about X-Men first.
Yes.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
Okay, ho. We got some X-Men to talk about.
That's right.
That's right. So X-Manhunt. It's here. And I got to tell you, it started. So we got 3 installments. We've got Uncanny X-Men as part 1, NYX as part 2, Storm as part 3. And I'll talk about what that does to the story. But the opening, the grounding in the why we're doing this, I was like, okay, to me, this is best case scenario.
Xandra. I've said many a times, he does not give a shit about Xandra. He has a fucking daughter that he never... I don't think he's ever... Has he ever seen her?
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've ever even interacted.
Right.
But it looks like the Shi'ar rebels are taking her over and probably going to try her and arrest her. And so he just wants to save her. It's all just like, I need to go save my daughter.
He busts out of Greymalkin prison. And honestly... when I read the Xandra pages, I was like, okay, thank God. Like, at least this is grounding. This whole thing is grounded in something that I'm kind of interested in.
Well, also, we're starting at having Gail Simone start the story. So we're already... And I have a feeling she probably was instrumental in creating this story, since a lot of these things, the brain tumor, all of the other things seem to be things based in the Uncanny X-Men world.
And just something like a simple emotional grounding, like, I have to save my daughter. Thank you, Gail. Like, Gail has been the one to bring the emotional grounding to this new phase. So, appreciated.
Yeah, so he also has but here's the one thing I was confused about.
One thing.
And I ask you this every time, and I'm never going to remember because I'm old. What's the name of the bitch that runs Grey Malkin?
I'm going to flip this fucking desk.
I'm never going to remember it.
It's Dr. Karina Ellis.
Like you're saying, like, I'm never going to remember it. It's already gone.
Say it with me. Dr.
Corina.
Kalinda.
Boris.
Close enough.
Okay, Dr. Karina. There's show a flashback where she's telling... Is it her telling... Rogue and them? Like, like they're acting like friends. And that was confusing to me. Where they're like, oh yeah, he has a brain tumor and it's like terminal and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
that made me want to go back to Uncanny X-Men #1 and see how that unfolded.
But they're enemies. I was very confused. Or maybe at the beginning they started out as friends and then they started...
Yeah. Not friends, but...
But just like on the same side where it's like, yeah, you need to keep Xavier in jail.
No, because they cited that as being from Uncanny X-Men #1. And like there was never a moment where they were like, oh no, she betrayed us. Like they were always adversaries.
Yeah, so I'm a little off about that, but whatever.
We got to go back and check that issue.
But basically, because it looks like they get a call from Dr. Karina to come and stop Xavier from escaping, right? Is that who calls them?
Yeah.
And who's the person that calls Scott? Who is the person on the phone that calls Scott in X-Men the last week?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or maybe it was that... Oh, it was Beast.
Okay.
I think it was just Beast told him.
Okay.
So I'm still would like to know more about the avians and the brain tumor and what all that means. And it looks like his brain tumor is spreading and he's starting to lose his powers and lose his mind a bit.
He's been a little crazy, yeah.
But it also makes me if you can't even trust what's in front of you, how do you know that the Xandra stuff is real?
Right.
We can't really... We're having an unreliable narrator here, so...
We sure are.
Now, I tell you this... If this was going through the Uncanny X-Men as a 4 or 5-parter, I'd be really psyched.
Yeah.
But no, it is not.
No, and that's where this thing suffers.
No, it is not.
That's where this thing suffers.
It goes to NYX, and...
It just feels so disjointed, because it's now...
so disjointed.
It's Xavier hopping into each book, and the book is like, well, we've already had this thing going on... So I guess you can fit in this way. And he's like, yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. And both times it's kind of yeah, you really need to help me out. And then they're like, no, we hate you. And then 5 pages later, well, we're in. Okay. We're going to help. And then he's like, haha, it was all just a ruse. He was Doom, because this is all Doom is still the ruler of the world. And
right.
He's Doom has a Krakoan seed, and we need to go get it. But then he was like, haha, I tricked you. And this is where I was confused. It looks like they were underground where Mojo was. And then he's like, all right, go get the seed. I'm going to go manipulate some Doom bots.
So they're in the treehouse, and they're in the tunnels underneath the treehouse.
Okay, so that's where
Doom has taken over.
Okay, but then why was...
Mojo was coming to visit Doom at his New York office to broker a deal of getting rights.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in the same place where they were. So I thought he was in the treehouse. So I just don't understand why Mojo was there.
He is in the treehouse. He's there to meet with Doom in his New York office, which is
okay.
Yeah.
I hate all of this. I'm kind of over Mojo. I think I'm kind of over it. The whole I need the rights to the TV version of this. I'm kind of.
And they really wound up making Mojo central to NYX. It looks like he's the big fight in the final issue. I'm like, okay.
But anyway, he basically sets them up for their own story where Mojo takes the seed and starts his own Mojo City that they're going to have to battle.
Right, in their one issue they have left.
Couldn't give a shit.
Couldn't give a shit. Meanwhile, Xavier, what he was really looking for, it turns out the Krakoan seed was a diversion that he created.
So he can get his helmet.
He could get his helmet, right. And then he brings that helmet to Storm.
Is the helmet a Cerebro itself, by itself?
Yeah, I think so, right?
Okay. I just thought, okay, whatever. So then he goes to Storm, and Storm's like, welcome, but I am going to call the Avengers, and I am going to have you arrested. But then he's like, wait, let me tell you what's going on. And then it just cuts, and she's like, all right, I'm on your side, let's go. They kind of like jumped through her being like, okay, I'm going to defend you. Like, they kind of skipped over all that.
And this was another example of it's like, well, I'm the Eternal Storm now. And it's like, oh, okay, this is
also, don't make her the Eternal Storm, and the next issue you have to jam in an Xavier side story.
That's the thing about these crossovers. Is it just, they're disruptive.
It's not the time for this.
They're disruptive. The writers are like, I got to do this now?
Yeah, and then Cyclops' X-Men team comes to stop Xavier. And it looks like she kills Scott. I'm confused. It looks
she doesn't
like
kill him. She just like iced up the inside of his head. They show Temper like heating him back up.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
And basically, is she just going to try and... But that's the thing is, how is he going to get into space? What is she helping him do? Are they going to get a spaceship?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I thought he really needed the Krakoan seed for. Was like, is
a gate
to get to Shi'ar?
To the Shi'ar, they have one where what's his nuts? Where Cannonball's wife.
But I mean, if she's like Eternity's avatar now, like she probably can be like, yeah, I'll just blink my eyes 3 times and we'll be there.
Anyway, so yeah, these two that followed were just not it for me.
I love the maggot appearance.
I don't like Maggot. I hate him. I think he's a terrible character.
Yeah.
I have maggots that eat stuff. No, thank you. Has that always been the case? If he had an arm chopped off, the maggots can rejoin it?
I don't know.
That was weird.
I think Storm is the one who like rejoined. I don't know. No,
because it looked like the maggots were like eating at it, and there was little... Maybe it was... I don't know.
This thing is all over the fucking place.
It's
all over the place.
Yeah, X-Manhunt, the hunt is for a plot. What?
Oh my god, the hunt is for some cohesion. Anyway, listen. At least it's Xandra. She's going to be like, Daddy.
Finally.
I know, right?
Also, what are Xandra's powers? Telepathy? Telekinesis?
I don't know. She has it all. Or she has none of it.
Yeah.
What happened to Deathbird? She okay? She okay?
Yeah, she just got shot by something, so they didn't show like her being stabbed.
Where's Lalandra? Is she dead?
Yeah. Where's Legion? Where's the brother?
So we got to, like, can you imagine what the X-Force issue of this is going to be like?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. I want to cry just bringing that up.
Well, it's Sage, because isn't he was talking to Sage.
He's like, Sage, help me. He's going up to all these people being like, hey, I'm not crazy right now, help me. Like, why was he so crazy with the Uncanny X-Men? He was like, you're not my original 5 students.
He was hallucinating.
You're those imposters. And it's like, what the fuck?
And then he shows up to NYX with some drawn-out, complicated plan.
He's like, oh, I didn't recognize Wolverine, but I recognize you,
Prodigy.
Sophie Cuckoo.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck?
Bullshit.
What the fuck? And then he's like, Storm, hey, what's up? I'm like,
yeah,
go
it's
cuckoo
weird.
Bananas
He's no brain tumor anymore, I guess.
No brain tumor anymore.
Uncanny X-Men.
You thought Jubilee was Cyclops. You're nuts.
Speaking of, best line in Uncanny is when Jubilee was like, oh, you forgot your ruby quartz visors, rogue.
Oh,
when she was kind of being too hard in the danger room.
Don't forget your ruby quartz visor.
That was good. That was a good burn. She even says like, ooh, that stung.
Ooh, that stung. She's like, but gosh darn it, I sure do am starting to understand Scott Summers more. Don't become him.
No, she won't.
Don't become him, Rogue. Don't become him. So that's
But
X-Men.
anyway, so that's the X-Manhunt.
Did you give up on My Hero Academia?
No, I'm going to still watch it. I'm just kind of painfully... It's going to be years before it, ends.
No. Season 8's the last season, coming this May.
Oh, it comes this May, and then that's the
Yes.
end? Oh, we'll fucking watch it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trudging through it right now, because they're
What
doing
is it?
that. They're doing their
1A
high
versus
school
1B?
concert.
Oh, it's so great. I'm so
just
happy
like-
for Jiro. For Earplug Girl.
It didn't need to be 4 It didn't need to be 4 fucking episodes. No, I do too, but it didn't need to be 4 episodes.
Yeah. I got to tell you, they hit you with a surprise ship in the beginning of season 6 where 2 characters all of a sudden turn to each other and are like, I love you. And you're like, what?
Oh,
Like, it is, I screamed.
Where you didn't see it coming at all?
One character's going, no, not at all. One character's going into
Because
battle.
Acid Girl and Hardening Guy seem like, because they have a past.
Because, well, she knows about his black hair, right? Did you see that? Scandalous. No, it's one character's going into battle, and they're like, ooh, I'm scared. And the pro hero is like, it helps to think about, what you really care about, what you're really protecting. And this character then, they do this thing. This character looks back, and they take the camera, and they go through, through the woods to the other character, but it's their love is this clear metaphoric path through the woods, and they're fixated on each other, and for the character to look back, and it's that's how they reveal who this character is in love with. They
That's sweet.
through the woods and land on somebody, and then that character's like, I hope you're okay, and I'm like, it is the best 2 characters to put together.
I can't wait.
I'm freaking
I
out.
will say My Hero Academia is doing something where I hate. It's doing something that I think Marvel's What If was ripping off. Because they love to have Deku I'm going to lose, but wait a minute. There's so many things that I'm fighting for. I have to really think. I have to be the one. I have to be the hero. Hurrah! They do that all the time. And because it's a kid's show, I'm down with it. But they did that every 5 seconds in Marvel's What If, and I hated it.
Yes.
So it is interesting how the same plot points can work if they're done a different. If they're
because
if you
the characters want, Deku's motivation. Deku just wants to be the best hero on the planet, and so he's always gonna. But then when Ultron decides to do it in What If, you're like, why?
Yeah. Also, it's mostly just Deku. And in What If, it was every character.
Every character
would do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, My Hero Academia, we're going to at some point do an X-Men comparison, and it'll be fun.
Yes. I'm so excited for you to see the ship moment. I screamed.
All right. Well,
Anyway.
we did it.
We did it, yay!
We did it. We covered the Oscars. We covered Daredevil. We covered Severance. We covered X-Men.
God, X-Men. Even My Hero. I'm gay.
You're gay?
Yeah.
What do you mean? How did you become gay?
I read it. Well. Did you know
Really?
that if
What?
if you read comics,
Oh God, what happens? I've read a comic.
well then that makes you queer.
Damn.